Morning guys, my final day in Bilbao. This Erriberako, I've been told that they do an amazing battered fried shrimp. So we're gonna go in and see what we can get. So unfortunately, Erriberako have no prawns. However, I did get a gilda, as you could probably guess. Exceptional olives. This is turning into a gilda tall. Let me know in the comments if you think I should come back and just eat a gilda at every single place and give them a rating. I got some finito again, but I love the fact that they're putting this into an old, not an old, but like an actual tuna tin. Okay guys, that is the most moist tuna we've had. Normally they're really quite dry. There's a little smokiness in there as well. I don't know what's so special about that one. Honestly, this is the best Pincho I've had here. They're outstandingly good. There's so much flavour, and that tuna isn't dry at all. A10 for presentation, A10, A1, A1 for execution. Jesus, that's a good piece of tuna. Stop one, long may they continue. So after how good that tuna was, I went to order some more. They have a list of their hot Pincho. They don't start the hot Pincho till 1:30, and it's a bit early than that. So what they do have on the bar is soup de queso, so like cheese soup. But it's made with Erriberako, which is a local cheese to the Basque Country. It's really nice. It's super creamy. Then it comes with a little quail egg inside. That quail egg is still ready. Oh, this is decadent. You wouldn't want a much bigger bowl, but then you'd be able to eat it. That is creamy, rich, a little cheesy. Lovely consistency as well, super smooth. A little garnish of pea shoots, chive, a little flour, like an edible. I'm going to finish all of this on camera. That's delicious. Sorry, I didn't realize I was getting closer to the camera as I was eating that. Unbelievably good though. I do recommend when you come to a local country or like a local region, try the local specialties like the Erriberako cheese, like their sidra, because you'll not be disappointed, because who knows better to cook their produce than the people where it's coming from. Outstanding. So Gore Tuki, honestly, possibly some of the best pincho that I've had in Bilbao. It's up there and wouldn't be out of place in San Sebastian. I do think there's a marked difference between what I've had here and what I've had in San Sebastian. Now, I could be in completely the wrong place, but I could also just, maybe there's a difference in quality, who knows. Well, this is what I'm doing now is I'm going around the corner to Bar Fermin, and these were closed yesterday, but apparently you have to come here for the Gilda. That's what we're going for, trying to make sure I don't walk into oncoming traffic as I do this. But yeah, so Bar Fermin for the Gilda is where we're going next.
¿Han llegado 6 meses? ¿Sí? Bueno. No, dale, igual.
Just finished off with Bar Fermin. Was told to go there for the Gilda, and it wasn't a disappointment. There's something about a Gilda. It's the idea of having to put it all in your mouth in one go as well, and you got olive oil dripping down your chin, and it's just like, it's such an umami flavor, so sort of briny, salty, acidic from the vinegar. A little bit of bread, and then a wine or cider or beer to kind of wash it away a little bit. It's like perfection. And I will say, their bacalhau pincho that I had, it was kind of like bacalhau, roasted peppers, cheese, and a little bit of like fried onions. It was very, very good. And I will say as well, they responded very well to a few words of Basque. So for any of you that don't know, obviously the Basque region in northern Spain is sort of dual lingual, so they speak Spanish and they speak Basque. And I found a lot more people, I don't want to say are friendlier, but they certainly respond positively to a few words of Basque. So like the only words that I know in Basque is literally kaixo, which is hello, a hard one, which is eskerrik asko, which is thank you, and then agur, which is goodbye. Literally walking in and saying hello, and then saying thank you and goodbye. Everybody sort of really like they respond positively. And yeah, it's just always nice to understand where you are and who you're speaking to. So very positive. And yeah, I've now skipped the other Pincho bars because I want to hit the market today as well. So we're heading there now. I think it's very hard to get turned around in these streets because they literally all look the same. But I think we're going in the right direction. So we're going to hit the market up, have a look around the wet market area, and then there's a few Pinchos bars in there as well. So we're going to finish our lunch up there. And yeah, that might be the end of the trip because I've got a few hours to kill before I go to the airport. However, I'm probably just going to plonk myself down in a cafe. Might even have a look and see if there's a cinema. But yeah, we'll see. But once we get to the market, I'll see you there. So we are now outside Ribera Market. This measures in 110,000 square meters and is the biggest, from what I can gather, having walked through here yesterday, it's the biggest completely encapsulated, enclosed market, fresh produce market in Europe. I think there are bigger ones, but they're not sort of four-walled, ceilinged, doored kind of spaces. So we're going to go in and have a little look around, because I think these are the hubs of communities. You'll have Michelin-starred chefs coming in here with family folk just coming in to get their produce. Some amazing looking seafood. And you can tell how fresh they are by the gills and the eyes, and even like the fact that they're still rigid. The fact that they're still rigid shows that they're still very young, they're very fresh. The rigor mortis is still very much in their bodies. There's just lines and lines of amazing crayfish, prawns, hake, and monkfish, bass. There's so many types of seafood, and just the quality of it all is unbelievable. So all around the outside you have fish, and then through the middle you've got butchers and greengrocers. So down the middle, butchers, some of the biggest chunks of meat, unbelievable colours. There's actually two floors here, so it doesn't look big, but because it's stacked, I still argue that it's maybe the biggest in Europe. Leave a comment below if you believe that's stacked, because I'm not convinced by it, but I found it on Google, and Google is God. So when you come up to the top floor, what makes this market amazing, considering it was only sort of built about 80, 100 years ago, the stained glass windows are phenomenal, and then the view outside is like, I mean, does anybody know another market in the world that has a view like that out of their window? I'd be hard pressed to find one. So upstairs it is very similar. Seafood around the outside, meats and vegetables through the middle, and yeah, just unbelievably fresh produce. This is something that we do not have in the UK that much anymore. It's very hard to find markets that sell this amount of produce, and like high quality produce. And the important bit, just want to say this, the important bit is this quality of produce, but at this price. So like high quality beef for like £14 a kilo. And I mean, that's hard to find, I think, in the UK now. Beef prices, you go to a high quality butcher now and you pay 30-40 quid a kilo for some cuts. They've got here €26 for a kilo of Cote de Boeuf. Like, that's unbelievable. And I had to stop at this as well. Look at all the little cakes. I'm a cake fiend, and they look delicious. And then giant pastel Vascos is what we had yesterday with the custard filled. But honestly, amazing produce. And there's more down here. So I mean, it is a big market indoors, and I mean the building itself, as always, here is stunning. looks like we have a little cookery school just in there. There's a few places not open today, but just it goes to show that like there is a trade for all of the 21 kilo for monkfish. Or 21 euros, that is. Sorry, I'm stood there converting it all into pounds. I just look at the amount of stuff. So that is pretty much the inside of the wet market. Now, it is an amazing market. The building, I wish I had a drone, the building from above is fantastic looking. Really good produce. It's certainly not the size of like La Boqueria. I think what it is a produce market. So I think the fact that La Boqueria sells food within the mix of that market, this is just all about produce. They have a section that does pinchos, but it's separate to the market. So I'm guessing that's where maybe the stat comes from. But yeah, I'd love to know the actual stat. And then downstairs, just here, is where we have the Pincho bar area. So I'll have a little film through here. I'm going to get myself a couple of bits to eat. So I'm still hungry. There's loads of space here as well, quiet to film, which is lovely. So I'm not going to get in anybody's way. But again, and the thing is, they're reasonably priced. So when you come to a market like this in the UK, you'll have all the Pincho lined up the bar here like this. But if you go to somewhere in the UK, the second you set foot into a market environment like this, everything becomes more expensive. But here, they're all still a couple of euros. And I do think, by the looks of it, most of them still do accept cash as well, which is kind of cool, because in the UK now it's all going cashless. It's all paper, it's all card payments. And I just think having cash in your pocket is a little easier. But yeah, we're going to go in, we're going to get some food, find a table, and then next you'll hear from me. Hopefully I should have a plate of pinchos in front of me. And yeah, we'll see what we can get into. Okay, so a tiny bit more expensive at La Ribera Market for, I don't want to say smaller portions, but the wine is big. So I went for langostina patata. It's basically shrimp wrapped in a really thin kind of noodle of potato wrapped around it and deep fry. Very hot. You microwave that for way too long. I mean, it's tasty. You can really taste the potato, not so much the shrimp. Slightly burnt my mouth. Next up was squid in its own ink, croquettes. Now, texture-wise, they look a little spongy. It's okay. And you certainly taste the squid. But the breading is just like very soft, kind of doesn't hold together very well. I mean, out of everything I've had in Spain this week, this is a disappointment. And the funny thing is, when I booked to come over to the Basque Country, I hadn't originally planned to go to San Sebastian. I planned to come just to Bilbao for convenience purposes. Only getting a couple of days, didn't want to have the hour and a half bus journey there and back. But in the end, I decided I'm going to San Sebastian. I think it might have ruined Bilbao for me. Bilbao's a lovely city. Everyone's friendly. Everyone's accommodating. But the food, especially here at La Ribera Market, feels like it's, and it probably is, like it's mass produced for the masses. It doesn't feel homely. I say all this and I'm still just picking at my croqueta. But it feels more aimed at people that have, like in London we have the food hall markets, market halls and stuff like that they're called. And you'll find people or companies in one, you'll find them in the other. It kind of feels like that. It's more modern. It's got a little touristy aspect feel to it. There's still a lot of locals here as well, probably coming in for a little lunch after the market. But a lot of the stalls offer like chicken nuggets, chicken wings, barbecue chicken. And I'm always wary of places that do that. Like the amount of places that I've been to where they don't really cater for a Western palate. This is like they do what they do and they're very unapologetic about it. And the reality of that is they cook that with love. Nobody loves to cook a chicken nugget. You know, not even people in McDonald's. Nobody loves to cook chicken dippers. Yet somehow in this part of the market they're there. So yeah, I mean a little disappointing in that aspect. But how much of that stems from San Sebastian being as good as it was, I'm not sure. But this is the one place, this is the market that I was going to travel to. And I was going to film specifically here because of that. And unfortunately, this is the first time I think I've ever come to a destination and be wholly disappointed by the initial reason. I wanted to go to Spain to go to La Boqueria, and I wanted to go to Barcelona, I wanted to go to Valencia because of their central market. They went to Madrid with their market, and all the markets are amazing. Good produce, yes, a little bit more overpriced, yes, maybe a little bit touristy, but ultimately really good product. And it's just a bit meh, really. I'm going to have some dessert here, because the desserts look good, so I'm hoping they can reinstill some faith in me. But I would say if you come into Bilbao, have a look around, have a walk around, take in the sights, the sounds, the smells, the wonderful produce. If you're cooking, if you're like in an Airbnb and you're cooking for an evening at home, buy some produce from the fresh market upstairs or out the back. Brilliant quality food, can't fault that, that's a joy to experience. Don't come to the food halls, give it a miss. If you're peckish, literally just go across the road into Old Town, get some tapas in Old Town. You'll be much, much more satisfied. I think here, I've just seen a big picture on the screen where one of the places is doing an English breakfast. Like, if you ever saw a warning sign in a foreign country of not to eat somewhere, it's a picture of a full English breakfast. So, had I seen that, I probably wouldn't have filmed it, to be honest with you. But yeah, like I say, some dessert next, hopefully that'll perk me up. And then, yeah, probably back into the Old Town for a couple more bits of tapas. Pinchos, sorry, I shouldn't call it tapas, pinchos. But yeah, anyway, that's my rabble over with. Sorry that it's it's downbeat, but last day saved what I thought was going to be the best to last, produce market. And yeah, at least I have wine. And hopefully soon dessert. That should help. So I'm finishing up with a Carolina and a, I can't remember. Basically, one of them is, one of them's a cream-filled pastry, topped with loads of powdered sugar and nuts. I think it's a similar filling to the one I had in the Vasco yesterday. But much more filling than that. I haven't got any napkins for this either. That vanilla custard's amazing. And there's so much custard in there. But it's not like crazy sweet. As for the meringue, I've got a feeling this might be custard filled as well, and end up being the Vasco with the meringue in the middle. But we will get into it and we'll see. It doesn't want to separate. Yeah. Basically like a Portuguese pastel de nata with a pile of meringue on top. The meringue is delicious. A little bit of chocolate on there as well. Right, down through the meringue enough now to get a mouthful. Well, it is like a custard tart, but with a much heavier, like a short crust kind of pastry on the outside rather than like the flaky one you get on a pastel de nata. Still delicious. But I think the other pastry is my favorite. Well, those are the two nicest things I had in the market, so that's a good way to end the video. This is literally it. I'm finished in Spain. Back to the UK later on today. These videos will be out, and I'll be back working by the time you see these. It's been an absolute pleasure again to be able to do this. It's been a while, and like I said, I'm really going to try and get back into it a lot more. I know I haven't been making that much content. The personal life has just had to take a front seat and the YouTube a back seat for now. This isn't my career. It doesn't form any kind of income. So if I have to focus on other things, unfortunately I have to. Obviously give it a like and a thumbs up. And let me know what you think. Take care guys.